Hi, welcome to Stories with AJ, episode 8. I'm AJ, I can Ellie too. Your host by now, I'm sure you figured that out. Right here today, I have my friend Andrew Nijinsky. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, AJ.
How are we doing today?
I'm doing good tonight.
Perfect, tonight. Okay. Little special. This is the first time I've ever had a guest on the show, so I'm very excited. I'm still trying to lay out how this is going to look, but I'm very excited tonight. I have a special treat for Andrew and for you as the listeners and the viewers out there. And this is back in 2005. I'm in Texas, and I had a little jaunt here, and it was actually called, and this one's for Drew. So this is not a letter I ever sent to you. It was just something that I wrote down fiercely. To think about all of those great memories.
Still waiting on some of those letters.
Yeah, well, the Postal Service. It's in the mail. Maybe I didn't put enough stamps on it.
That's it.
Okay, so here we go. And this one's for Drew. With wild memories and built-up crazes, the sun beats down on our cars, racing to Frankenmuth. For every train stopped and road that doesn't end, this one's for you. Like the stars in the orbit or your love for her, our friendship will always grow. No matter what goes on, we will always be best friends. Wishing you the best from wherever you are, then the times I'm gone and we stay best friends. Best friends means best friends is the best thing you could ever have. Bam. And that's it. All right, so that was fun. It was exciting. It was kind of nervous. Like, man, it's just a ride in the Wayback Machine.
There it was.
Oh, goodness. So, again, 2005, I'm in the pre-mob. I'm in Texas and New Mexico there for a hot minute. Nothing to do but lay in a cot, and then we had training and more training, and then again, more training beyond that. So constantly staying busy during the day, but during night, you always had time to sit there and reflect and think about what you did for the day, but then also think about back home. And actually, I forgot to mention that here we are in Bay City. And for those that are watching the video blog, got Harry's Amusement Billboard straight from Bay City out down the road.
Down the road, my grandfather's business.
Thank you very much. It is. But more importantly, we're in a Bay City garage, and I absolutely love it. Nothing more. I do.
Full of tools, Polish flag.
Yes, it's almost like every estate sale I've ever been to. It's just like this garage. It's so fantastic. And it's got that Michigan like cold, crisp chill tonight because it's October. It's finally cold. I miss the summer, but here we are. All right, but moving forward. So, like, what were some of your thoughts about that? Maybe some of the memories there. I mean, there's a lot of like not jabs in there, but there was a lot of references to the fun shenanigans we were up to at the time.
Yeah. So the Frankenmuth, it took me a second, and then I remembered waiting we were on our way to Frankenmuth.
Yes.
According to M46 and Garrow Road there. You calling your boss,
Yes.
trying to get out of work, because we're trying to go to like.
Okay, so I remember we were on our way to Frankenmuth, and those that don't know Frankenmuth, I'm sure you've seen the sign for Bronner's because they have them freaking everywhere across America. World's largest Christmas store, I promise you. That's a true statement. But in Frankenmuth, we had went there because I feel like we were just never there before, and we're just looking for time to kill.
I thought there was a purpose.
There was a purpose. I don't remember exactly, but we did end up finding this like Nerf gun place, and we like battled each other, and we were gonna have to like shoot Nerf guns and stuff. And like the kid that was working it didn't care and gave us a bunch of free time.
Thing.
Yes. So I think we had a blast there, and so then we're on our way back. Like, man, I'm hungry, and there was a sign for like food, like out yonder, wherever the heck it was. I don't know where it was, but I worked at Cracker Barrel at the time. Oops, I don't meant to do that, but
Yeah.
I was a dishwasher, and I just didn't feel like going out. I felt like going to go eat, and why not? So I called my boss. I'm like, hey, boss, so I'm not sick, but if you don't need me today, let me know, and I won't show up. And I don't know why, as a 19-year-old or 18-year-old, I thought that would actually work.
You're a horrible liar.
I wasn't lying. I couldn't lie. It was not in my DNA. So I was just being honest and thought that would pay off for me. And guess what? It did not pay off. He's like, no, I need you to come in. So
Come in and wash dishes with your beard guard.
Yeah, you always made fun of me for that. So, as a dishwasher, food and health and safety, you always had to wear a hairnet. But even if you didn't shave the next day, you had to wear a beard guard, which is funny because as an 18-year-old, I had like two little hairs there. I did have sideburns. I had sideburns down to here when I was in 8th grade. So, but beard, I still won't do it. It's just too itchy. I just can't do it. Oh goodness! Anything else out of that?
No. One part that I would skip over, but always. I think back then we always had that expectation that that we'd be thick as thieves through everything.
Yes.
And that's
True.
It's good.
I guess I want to tie into is the reason we continue to use best friends is there was a band out there that has a lyric, best friends means, and well, best friends means I pulled the trigger, and best friends means, and not finishing that lyric because I don't want to do any copyright infringements or anything, but I ended up getting a tattoo with a bullet and then the ribbon, best friends means, and because we had gone through so much, and with all of that comes good and bad memories, and yes, there are things that maybe we could go back and say I would change that or I would do that differently, but at the end of the day, that's really not a true statement because everything that's happened in the past makes us exactly who we are today. So.
Yeah, and you got that right around this time, right?
Yeah, actually just slightly before, yes.
Yeah.
Because I may have gotten a tattoo at AAT, which I was not supposed to, but sorry, drill sergeants, that did not happen. Okay, moving forward and then going into the deployment. That was rough. Again, I didn't know what was to come, and I remember getting the call for that deployment. I was at my grandmother's house.
We were house sitting.
We were house sitting. My grandmother, she trusted me to watch her house.
Yeah, then we got locked. We locked ourselves out of the house.
We locked ourselves out of the house.
We had to have our good friend Carl come break in with a credit card.
Yes. So, Mom, I know that this probably makes me sound like a really bad son, but believe me, it was a great story. It was very funny, and thank you, Carl, for being able to pull that off. But nonetheless, there, and while we were house sitting there too, is she was on vacation, and of course I had my drum set in the basement, and again we love to make music, so you played. I mean, you kind of played bass at the time, but but no, and I kind of played drums, so it's okay. But I remember just getting that call and saying, "Hey, there's unit getting deployed, and you can either say yes now, or you can wait 3 days, and I'm just gonna call you and say you're gonna go." And so it was just a lot to take in and absorb, and I think no one knew what to expect.
No. I mean, you just think your friend is going to go to war, and you think the worst, right? Of all the war stories that there are, and that's where your mind goes. And
especially at the time, and that was before Google. You couldn't just Google your base. You couldn't just Google what was going on. It was kind of in a different era.
Yeah. It was even so when you went over. I mean, that was 2005, and it's hard to communicate. It was via letters or really bad cell phone service.
A phone card.
Yeah.
I don't know if any listeners even know what a phone card is, but essentially, I could go to the store, put $20 down to buy this phone card, so I could have some minutes on a payphone and call home. Like that was it. There was no texting. There was no, definitely no FaceTime. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Skype was really just new, and
we didn't do any of that.
No.
Yeah, it was a scary time, I guess.
It really was.
What it ended up being,
because you're just scared of the unknown. You just didn't know what was going to happen. It may or may not have gotten easier over time, but definitely that first one was a little more difficult to process and to understand what was going to happen next.
Yeah, by your third one, it was no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, hey, see you later, bye.
Yeah, he's gone. Whatever.
And I guess maybe one of the last stories there before we move on was. I do remember as we're trying to accept before me going down to camp there, it was a bucket list type of item.
Oh.
Yeah. And I've always wanted to walk across the ice. And again, I may have touched it before, and I think that was episode 1. Bay City has this huge Saginaw River going across, so you have east side Bay City, west side Bay City, but that river would freeze up every winter. So usually from like December to February, it always just froze up, and people go out there and they go ice fishing, and they'll go ice fishing whether there's 12 inches of ice, or they'll go ice fishing out there if there's like a quarter inch of ice, and I don't understand why, but they do. Nonetheless,
Yeah.
I wanted to do it. So Andrew and I and this LeBaron, we go down there, and
LeBaron at 1 in the morning.
1 in the morning, because what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, when all the rescuer folks are asleep.
Way gone.
Yeah,
Yes. We go out there, and I remember we're walking. We got to the middle, and you had called our friend Chris, or he called you, one of the two, but you're like, yeah, we're just walking across the river, but we're almost done now, so we're gonna start heading back. I'm like, no, we're not. We're halfway. We're gonna keep going. And as we kept going, we almost got to we got to the other side, but there was this other ship there.
There's a boat.
Yeah, there's a boat. They're just kind
Moored in
of
the-
stuck there.
Yeah.
And of course, there's like some free water there, so it was kind of like really scary. Like I think I even was like, but I wasn't gonna let him know that. So we got there. We didn't touch the ship because I think that would probably have been too dangerous. And then we touched the wall though, and we
Walked back.
walked back.
Yeah.
And okay, so yep, checklist done, bucket item, done. However, that road to the park is a speed limit of 15 miles per hour, but there's a fence, and on the other side is a road where it's 25 miles per hour. Well, we were on the 15 mile per hour, and on our way back, some cop got you somehow.
Well, there's a 4-way stop that I rode.
Ah, yes.
Because it was 1 in the morning that we were driving through a
A
road
closed park.
a closed park that nobody ever goes to. So I got pulled over for the first time ever. 18-year-old me
Doing 25 and a 15.
doing 25 and 15, not knowing what to do to even get pulled over. I stopped in the middle of the road and just turned my car off. Yeah, that was a great old time.
Yes. and the best thing is they kind of asked like what we were doing, and I started it, and we still use this phrase today. And I said, well, see, officer, I'm going to war on Friday. and
It's
then
true.
It was very true. And I
Very
was
true.
getting deployed that Friday, and I'm like, that's something I've always wanted to do. And then I think we both had soaked feet, and we were cold, but it was totally worth it. And I think he kind of laughed at us. It's like, you were speeding too much, and this park's closed, so you can't be here. And he let us off. But
He said,
to
"Go
this
home."
day, see, officer, I'm going to war on Friday.
It's a line I wish I could use.
Yes, but maybe not. I'll never use it again. But knock on wood, right? But that was good and a good time, and many more to go in the future.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right. So I'm gonna take a breath here. All right. Now that I've taken a big deep breath, kind of thought about it here, Andrew. I have a question for you. So if you could go back into time and give, maybe yourself or any of that, that late teen, but maybe early adult, that kid who just got out of high school, but now kind of going into first year of college, kind of confused on the world, doesn't know what's going on. Maybe they have a friend deploying, maybe they have, their spouse or their significant other, going away for whatever reason. There's a lot going on in that time frame. So what kind of advice would you offer them today?
Yeah, I think the biggest life lesson that I've had is never stop trying. That's something that I think that you kind of live by, and always keep trying to do better and better. Because I think about myself back then, and I really had I didn't have much life plans, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had as much ambition that I have had and much success in my career. Always keep trying, because there are there's always obstacles to overcome.
Yeah.
And you can just overcome them and just do better.
It's awesome. Thank you. Well, I'm not going to top that then. I had my own answer, but you know what? I just ditto. I really, truly appreciate it. That's good stuff. So, well, thank you, good sir.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, viewers, again, love to hear your thoughts, comments, concerns in the comments. Please let me know what your thoughts are, what you want to see in the future, what you liked, what you didn't like. I am open to criticism. Believe me, I can take it. And I want you to tune in next week. We've got episode 9. We're coming up to episode 10, which I'm really excited about. But episode 9, we're going to read a little bit of back in my 20s. I had a song. We had a band together, and they were called ATP. And we're going to read a little bit about that. So stay tuned. See you next week. Bye, guys. Do great things.